It is currently Sunday the 21st of December, lunchtime. Mark and I did have plans over the weekend that keep on changing, and we have now finally in a position that we've, I think, bought all of our presents. So we've decided to try and do a bit of a blitz and have spend an hour wrapping. So we put all our presents into the conservatory, which is lovely and clean now. And we're going to try and get as much done as we can in an hour, which isn't very long. So Mark is currently with me, sorting out his bits and pieces. By the time this goes up, I think any gifts that we would have given won't spoil it for anyone. Not that I think many people, will do actually watch this. But there's Marky. Say hello, Mark. Oh no, you're not in shot. There you go.
That's typical when you're not on shot. Yeah.
You're not in shot. So yeah, we've brought all our presents in. We've got our lovely Christmas tree. We'll have some Christmas music on, but I'm not going to put it on just yet because otherwise copyright. And I found a box of gift wrap and ribbon and bows and bags, so we'll wade our way through that. And we've got a little table each, so wish us luck. While we were wrapping, it started to rain, and it was really nice having the atmospheric rain on the top of the conservatory. We only had a limited time to wrap, as we were heading over to Chichester Cathedral for a carol concert. Fortunately, we got the times very wrong, or should I say Mark got the times very wrong, and we had missed the service entirely. Over the road from the cathedral was a pub. Did joke with Mark that he'd planned this, but we had a couple of drinks in the pub and a bite to eat, and this was a Wetherspoons, and it got this new spice bowl, well worth every penny. So after the pub we headed home and decided to make some mulled wine. This was a kind of made up recipe, and it was okay, but I think next time I might just buy a bottle of mulled wine and warm that up instead. So for this, I added a bottle of Chianti into a heavy bottomed pan. And to the wine, added in 1 split vanilla pod. Cinnamon stick. Some orange slices. And some cloves. Now, I saw this on a vlog that I watch, Happy Canadian Home, to actually poke the cloves into the oranges so that they're much easier to dish out later or fish out later. And this is such a great idea, except for the fact that I forgot to put the cloves into the oranges before I did the slices. But it still made it much easier to retrieve the cloves. So adding in some orange juice for some more sweetness. And I'd run out of star anise, which I would have also added in. So while I was making the mulled wine, I asked Mark to start a small fire. This was far from small. So I realised I hadn't shown you some of the decorations we put up in Mark and I's bedroom / living room. I've got this kind of natural greeny theme, rather attractive. So another thing that I've seen about a lot this year, which I didn't realise was a thing, was the Christmas pickle. And once again on this vlog that I watch, Happy Canadian Home, they had hidden a Christmas pickle ornament in the tree. And the person who finds the pickle is supposed to get good luck for the new year. And it's just a little bit of fun. So I had in mind that I quite like to make a pickle. I always have lots of craft bits about. It was just finding the time to sit down and do that. I've left it a bit last minute. I'm hoping to hide it in the tree and that somebody might be observant enough to find it. I'm thinking there might be a little gift for the person who finds it. Possibly a jar of pickles. Because why not? So I've just made a little template out of card, my pickle shape, and then cut round that a couple of pieces of green felt. And I thought I was going to use some green thread, but I decided on the gold thread to give a little bit more dimension to my pickle. And then I've got some bugle beads here. Gutermann brand are my favourite. And I'm going to use the beads just to create the ridges in the pickle to make it look a little bit more like a pickle. So I've finished adding the beads to one side. I'm just going to do one side. I don't see the point of doing the two on this project. And then I'm going to do a blanket stitch around the outside to join the two together. And I'm using a mixture of the gold and green thread, once again just to give it a little bit more dimension, make it less flat. And once I've gone around the outside, or majority of the outside of the ornament, and then stuff the pickle with some wadding. Just got some toy stuffing here. But you could use old bits of thread or even offcuts of yarn. Just something soft to pad it out. And then sew the ornament up. Continue with blanket stitch. And then I've left some thread just to be able to hang the pickle up, although you could nestle it in the branches. Last year I made lots of these paper stars using pages from an old book that was damaged and would have ended up in the bin. These were really simple to make, and I can't remember if they ended up in my vlogs at the time, but of different sizes and shapes, and there was all kinds of origami paper stars online. These have lasted surprisingly well. Just put them in a box, and they didn't end up actually up around the house, so this year I needed to make sure that at least some of them ended up. They're really easy to thread with a needle and some thread. And I had initially thought that they might end up in the window, but condensation would get to them. So I've just hung them up across the beam here, and they look rather lovely. We've just unloaded our weekly shop. And it's Christmas week, so it's very heavy on the Christmas food. Although we aren't hosting on Christmas Day or Boxing Day this year. So this is for Christmas Eve and then the week. And we generally have picky bits most of the week between Christmas and New Year. So one thing that you won't see here is a ham, as I'll be cooking that tomorrow. Also drinks. Mark and I headed out to Sainsbury's at the weekend to get some drinks, so we might add that on, and then also get some frozen, or some not frozen, but some party food. We're hoping to go to Waitrose, as we've got an eye on a few things from there. But we've got a selection of salads, particularly things that will go with a cheese board, as we'll be eating a lot of cheese that you'll see in a minute. So we've got like celery and grapes, and apple, and then we've got like beetroot, tomato, cucumber, and some lettuce. I've got some dips, like just a classic selection there with my favourite, Thousand Island, and then some ricotta stuffed cherry peppers, so like pots of salad. Potato salad. This Moroccan style couscous, which is lovely, and a pesto pasta there. So I've also got some crackers. Did order some, I want some cars, but they were sold out. We've got some Jacobs and some little Taste the Difference cheese thins, some crisps. Just love some onion rings and bacon crispies at Christmas time, and some Pringles. It's a big pack of smoked salmon. My dad and I will get through that easily. And a pork pie. Some caramelised onion chutney. And then an absolute mountain of cheese. I don't think I've ever bought this amount of cheese at Christmas. But normally they have a pretty good date. And they had some good deals. So I've got this Costello pineapple and almond ring. It's like a soft cheese. If you haven't tried it, it goes so well. It's stunning. Got brie, French roux, Edam, red Leicester, a cheddar cruncher, some smoked cheese. Got some Austrian, and a little beechwood one there. Some Port Salut. This white Stilton It's got whiskey and ginger in it as well, and I love white Stilton. Probably the only cheese I'm not keen on is blue cheese, but I do like white Stilton a lot. And then I've got this, and this really is random. It really is a taste of Christmas. This, and I'm not even sure how you pronounce it, but Du Montagne. It's like, my mum always used to say mountain cheese to me, and you often only find it at Christmas. And at first it was only in Marks and Spencer's, but now we can get it in Sainsbury's too. And then on to some sweet stuff. Well, actually first, cherry brandy. I love cherry brandy at Christmas. Then I've got some After 8 chocolates. Some Flecken tarts. I don't know what they are, but Sainsbury's always have them, and they are truly delightful. A bit like Florentines, but in a mince pie. And then we got a tin of custard. I'm not going to make my own. It's Christmas, I don't want to cook. Some Christmas caramel pies, mince pies. Some Major dates. And some Quality Street. Had to be. And a tin of. So that is it for Christmas week. All of that cheese. We enjoyed watching and eating along with It's a Wonderful Life so much the other day that we are doing it again, but this time with The Holiday. I don't think Mark was too impressed to be watching this film, but I believe he ended up very much enjoying it, got quite invested by the end. And even Banjo joined along with us this time. He settled down, though he did get up a few times. There's lots of inspirational eats in this film, so I did just choose a select few. Although parts of this film are very cheesy, it has become a bit of a holiday classic now. So, first up, we're going to have a little party with Amanda. We've got our red wine, our nibbles, and even our chocolate tree decorations. The best drink in town with either a little dollop of cream or a large dollop of cream. Has to be a large dollop of cream. Both Iris and Amanda have Christmas fettuccine on Christmas Eve. And this was truly delicious. I'll be making that again. time for a cocktail. And this one is a Grinch cocktail. And it combines some of my favourites. So in the bottom of a champagne flute, I've added some Midori and sweet and sour mix that have been shaken together. And then topping it off with some Prosecco and a little soda water. And the recipe suggests using a cherry to represent the Grinch's heart, but I had some sweets in a heart shape, so I thought they'd make a nice alternative. Top this one off with a straw as well. So I made one for Mark, and then I made another for myself. These were very fun. It's now the 23rd of December, and I'm leaving it very late to the party to have a proper look through the Radio Times. And I just need to get some bits recorded, as I don't seem to be having the time to sort of sit down currently and watch anything. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to have a good look through and pick out what I want to put on record. So first off is Stranger Things. This is definitely the top of my list. Very much looking forward to that on Boxing Day. This is very old school, but BBC 4 have a selection of old Top of the Pops Christmas specials. So here's the 1992 one, but I'll put a lot of them on record the other years as well. And then on Christmas Eve, A Ghost Story for Christmas. This one is by Mark Gatiss, who often does these ghost stories at Christmas, and they're very good. Then on Christmas Day, we've got Michael McIntyre's Christmas Wheel and another game show on ITV, The 1% Club. I do really enjoy a game show, so they're up there. Then later on in the week, the Royal Institute has a series of Christmas lectures or New Year lectures every year. And this year it's a space themed, so looking forward to that. Then on Christmas Day, we've got the Gladiator Christmas special. And then also the Taskmaster's New Year treat. So that's just a one-off special. I'm interested to know what other people like to watch around this time of year. Is there anything special you like? So for me, Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without some mince pies. I'm not baking them properly from scratch. I've got some store-bought ones, and then these ones I've bought some pre-rolled pastry and a jar of mincemeat, and I'm going to make some mince tarts rather than pies. So just a little bit less pastry, and they're gorgeous warm from the oven, and it's kind of half effort on this one, but I still enjoy the process. Dead simple, just a case of cutting out the pie bases, popping them into a lightly greased pan, and then very little mincemeat as it does bubble up and spread. So just a teaspoon in each one, then glazed with a little egg or milk wash, and into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes on 180. Nothing special, just pure delicious ease, and makes the house smell glorious as well. Good morning. It's now Christmas Eve, and I have approximately 45 minutes to do this in, so I'll get a wiggle on. I'm going to make some little pine cone fridge bites. I don't know what else to call them in this instance. There's not many ingredients to it. You need cream cheese, cocoa powder, chocolate biscuits, I'm using Bourbons, some chocolate, hot chocolate, and some cornflakes. I'm using honey nut variety of cornflakes. You can see. And as you can hear, Rusty has joined me. I'll be back in a moment. Right, I've sorted Rusty out. So we start off this recipe with 150 grams of the bourbon biscuits or chocolate biscuits. I've got my biscuits. I'm just going to put them into the blender until I've got some crumbs. There's the crumbs. And to the crumb mixture, I'm going to add some cocoa powder. 1 tablespoon. And then 60 grams of cream cheese. Oh, Rusty's back again already. Can't decide whether he's coming or going this morning. So with clean hands, I'm going to roll these into about 8 to 10 little balls, and then pinch the tops of each one so that they resemble a basic pine cone shape and will sit on the baking sheet nicely. Once you've got these shapes, you can press cornflakes in circles starting from the base upwards, and then you'll start to see they look more like a pine cone. They sit in the freezer for about half an hour, and then they should be ready to cover in melted chocolate. Mine ended up sitting in the freezer all day until I got home from work, and then we covered them in chocolate and dusted them with icing sugar. Are you going to eat the chocolate? Would you like her?
I'd love Mum.
Thank you all so much for watching, and hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. I'll see you all next week. Ta-ra for now.